Welcome back to another Sunday night roundtable here at the OHIO podcast. I am your host, Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather, and you are you. We're thankful to have you join us tonight. Do us a big favor, everybody, before you do anything else, and smash that like button. The chat is up and rolling tonight. It's going to be an active chat. We got a great show, lots of good topics, and it's our 6th annual Ohio State NFL Draft mock draft game. We're going to have a good time tonight. We'll explain that after the commercial break and the second part of the show, everybody. And everybody, happy Easter. We appreciate all of you. Hope you had an enjoyable day with the family and friends celebrating an empty tomb like we did here in the Boggs household. We are the official Ohio State podcast of Fansided and Scarlet and Game. Head over to scarletandgame.com. If you don't like the way our face looks, we don't blame you, neither do our ex-wives. You can check us out over at scarletandgame.com or wherever you download your podcast. We are also the official Ohio State podcast of The College Huddle. That thing right there. The College Huddle. Head over to thecollegehuddle.com where you can find ourselves and 80 of our closest friends from coast to coast, including the host of tonight's guest from the Woodswater Mizzou Podcast. We've got Skeeter with us. Skeeter, tell everybody who you are and what you do, man.
Well, as you said, I'm one of the 3 co-hosts to Woodswater Mizzou. Have a big passion for Mizzou athletics, and the podcast field is deep, and so we needed something that was kind of set us apart from just talking game and stats. And all 3 of us that are on there, Case and Cole and myself, we're all fathers, and we all love the outdoors, hunting and fishing, and so we came up with the Woodswater Mizzou. And we do that generally once a week. Now that it's off season, we all have little kids, and so life's real busy. We don't get to do it as much as we'd like to, but I'm glad to be on here tonight. And I didn't come on tonight as a Mizzou fan. I came on tonight as a Saints fan because I reached out to you, said, "Hey, when's your draft special coming up?" Because my Saints, New Orleans Saints, do pretty good when they draft an Ohio State Buckeye.
That's right. We were calling New Orleans Buckeye South or Ohio State South for a while there. They had just about everybody. Chris is with us tonight. Happy Easter, Chris.
Happy Easter, Eric. Yeah, great day to be out with the family and celebrate the holiday. And Skeeter, I do have to ask one question.
Yeah.
Hot rumors coming out of New Orleans that one of our Buckeyes may not be with the Saints too much longer. What do you think?
Which one is that you're talking about?
There's been all kinds
Olave?
of rumors around Olave.
I don't know if those are true or not. I mean, with Mickey Loomis, you never know. With Olave's concussion problems he's been having, I'd be surprised to see too many teams give up too much. When he's healthy, he's great, but he does seem to be racking up the concussions, and so I do worry about the longevity of his career.
Yeah.
Also joining us tonight, hot off the presses in a interesting take that is completely opposite of my own when it comes to.
We don't want to talk about that one. I just talked about it right before we came.
Let me just say this. One of the things I truly love about this show is that we can disagree, debate, and we're all friends, and it's all good. But Dr. Cory's with us tonight. How's it going, Cory?
It's going good. I ate so much. I'm going to need somebody to send a help party or something because I can't move anymore. I'll tell you what, Skeeter, I love Olave. I actually do like New Orleans. They're one of my favorite NFL teams. Packers are my favorite, but I do pull for the Saints when they're playing. And but I will say this: stop having your quarterbacks throw Olave into safeties, and maybe he'll stop having concussion issues.
That would help. I mean, obviously, since Drew Brees, our quarterback play has been pretty poor.
Trash.
Pretty poor. Yeah.
Well, when Derek Carr's your savior, I don't know what to tell you at that point.
Well, looks like he's going to be having shoulder surgery or something, and probably miss the year. So, Spencer Rattler, here we go.
Oh no.
Will Howard. Or Will Howard.
Ooh, well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. Today's episode is brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. Is your loved one recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, or living with dementia and needing support at home? A Place at Home Dublin provides home care, supportive services with bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, and medication reminders, all in the comfort of home. Learn at aplaceathome.com/Dublin or call 740-472-8181. So Brian Ober, so we submit where the Buckeyes will go in an email. Yeah, we will explain that after the commercial break. We will break it all down for you. The whole second part of the show is going to be about our mock draft game. You all are going to love it. This is the 6th year we do it. It's a heck of a time. So, anyways, we'll get there. But first tonight's opening discussion is and this is something that I know Skeeter, Mizzou deals with, we deal with as Buckeye fans, all college fans are dealing with this now, and that is the name, image, likeness. That is just the wild, wild west. And of course, I was on yesterday on the college huddle with Michael from Vol Fanatics. I think he's actually in the chat. There he is. Yep, Michael's with us tonight as well. And we broke down Nico, him leaving Tennessee, where they're at, everything like that. So this is resurfaced because of what Nico has done to Tennessee, and that is players basically treating NIL like it's 1-year contracts with their college, like they're on the last year of a contract with their NFL franchise, and they're holding out from going to camp, trying to hold out for a better deal, a more longer contract, more money, whatever. That essentially is what Nico did here. My question tonight as we begin this discussion is NIL ruining college football? That's where I want to start tonight. Skeeter, I'm going to kick it off to you first. What is your thoughts about NIL? And do you feel it's ruining college football?
Well, I would kind of hate saying this while Michael's in here. So, Michael, plug your ears. I have to applaud Tennessee because it's great to see somebody have a backbone and not let the players walk all over and get their way. For them to say they're moving on when he wasn't showing up to practice and all the reports were coming out, I have to applaud Josh Heupel and that staff because that's not easy to do at this part of the season to say, hey, you are starting quarterback last year. We got to the playoffs, but we're not doing this back and forth games. So NIL, has it ruined college football? In a sense, yes. For the traditionalist, very much so. Um, I think there's hope after seeing what Tennessee did this past week, and so you know the problem is we're taking these 18 to 22. I think there's a few more 26, 27-year olds still out there from COVID and red shirt years or everything, but uh, we're taking them and throwing all this money at them, and they have every influence in the world. And it seems to be the biggest problem is their family. Their mom and dad are seeing you know a paycheck. They're seeing all kinds of money coming at their kid, and they want them to support their lifestyle, and that seems to be where the issue is. So I'm hoping the kids realize you can't listen to mom and dad all the time. And I see you there, Michael. But you can't listen to mom and dad all the time. You have to do what's best for you. And you know, the transfer portal, I think, goes right there with NIL, and you can't have one without the other. As far as if you're going to say it's ruining or making it harder to be a fan, but if anything, it makes me fall in love with the name on the chest and the helmet more than what's on the back of the jersey. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%, man. Bobby Mack, NIL is not ruining the game. It's the pay for play that is ruining the game. It isn't actual NIL. And I get that there's just some nuance here, Bobby. And maybe we can get into well, I can't even speak that word tonight. We'll get into that a little bit more here in a little bit. Cory, save me, man. What's your thoughts on this topic?
Oh man, I'm not anybody's savior. Today is about the Lord Jesus Christ. That's our savior. Anyway, um, look, NFL or NFL. Wow, you know what's on my brain? The NIL. I wouldn't say it's killing college football just yet, but it's definitely mugging college football while the NCAA watches. It's not the NIL itself; it's the lack of structure around NIL. That's the problem. It's really becoming a cash fueled circus now. And Nico, I'm a leaving Tennessee. Obviously, kind of demonstrated that. I do think Tennessee, and I'm going to agree with Skeeter here. I've said it on another podcast. What Tennessee did was really great for college football, and I totally applaud them. Applaud Josh Heupel. That was a hard decision. I mean, he's an established starter that got you to playoffs, and you had to move on from him because he's really what he was doing was in my opinion wrong. Not trying to get his cash value, but just doing it at the time he did it and the way he did it. And then he goes to UCLA, and I'll give UCLA some credit here, believe it or not, because it is, if all these things are true, he was getting $2 million in Tennessee. Maybe I'm wrong, but allegedly he was getting $2 million at Tennessee. He wanted $4 million, and UCLA said we'll give you $1.5 million, which means all of college football said we're not dealing with this kind of crap. We got to take a stand on this. And UCLA, I'll give you less value than what you got at Tennessee. So to the point where his father's now coming out, it had nothing to do with the money. It's just stop it. Nobody believes that. But I will say players definitely, I think we can all agree, deserve to get paid. But they are definitely, collectively speaking, the players are the reason people watch the games. But they are not bigger than the game. They're spokes in the wheel still, even though they deserve to get paid. Because, as college football is, you don't have 10-year, 15-year stars. You get a couple years out of a star, he moves on. So you get on to the next kid. In fact, where NIL is killing college football for me, period, is recruiting. I don't even care about recruiting anymore. I just don't even want to watch it anymore because it doesn't matter as much as it used to be. If you miss out on recruits, go to the portal next year and offer them a bunch of money and they'll come. It's just almost ridiculous. But continuity, loyalty, any sense of program identity is being killed a little bit with NIL. Freshman commits, gets a bag, transfers after one spring practice. I mean, why? Again, that's why am I supposed to care at that point? It's just, so it's like I just want to watch the games because I love college football. I love the fact that Ohio State can handle the NIL era. That's lucky for me, but as a fan, but it's just killing my love of what the game was for sure.
Aaron asks, if you get NIL from a school once you leave, does that money stop or do you still get it? Depends on the contract that they got from that NIL. If it was all up front or if it was, spread out over so many years and it's so much per year. So it really just depends on what that NIL contract looks like.
Also, how you leave, right? Like if you enter the portal, I imagine it voids any contract. But if you go to the pros, there still might be a payout type thing.
Depends
Like
on the
there's
contract. Yep, depends completely on the contract. All right, Chris, your turn, buddy. What's your thoughts?
Here's the thing. I don't know that we can say it's ruining college football. It's definitely created a seismic change that I think is redefining college football's ecosystem in an almost overnight fashion. Now, Skeeter and Cory both made some excellent points. But I'm going to look at this from a couple different aspects. One of them being the traditionalist viewpoint. And that's obviously the way I lean. And I think it feels like the game's foundation is cracking somewhat. If you look at this, the gap between the haves and the have-nots is just going to widen. You're going to have a select group of teams every year that's going to be in the competition because they're the ones who can afford to pay the top players, the Ohio States, the Texas, the Oregon, the Georgia, the Alabama. These guys are going to get that elite talent because they can pay them. And as Cory mentioned, this is going to have a profound effect on recruiting, but not just because you may lose out on guys because of NFL or NIL, but you have to re-recruit your guys every single day, every single season. You have to recruit the guys you have already in-house because somebody's going to come along with a bigger bag. You pair that with the transfer portal, and it's becoming a bit of a mess. And it's kind of a tough pill, I think, to swallow for a lot of fans because it shifts, I think, player motivation. It feels like there is a shift in motivation where college football used to be about loyalty and legacy and school pride. And now you look at this and it's about who can offer the biggest bag. So from that standpoint, I have a problem with NIL. But if you flip it around a little, NIL could be considered progress. College football, billion-dollar industry. And as Cory said, the athletes deserve their piece. The issue is the lack of kind of guards against it getting out of control. It's made this a free market, almost a free agency on steroids market. And while it's been good for programs like Miami, who's seeing a resurgence, SMU's gaining momentum. You saw Indiana under Kurt Signetti, who's taken advantage of NIL and the portal, and they have been able to improve their programs. Coach Prime out of Colorado, been able to take Colorado to levels it hasn't seen since the 80s. But at what cost? So is NIL destroying college football? I don't think it's exactly destroying it. It's definitely transforming it. And I think to the common fan, it can feel like a loss. It's the deep connection, the loyalty, the tradition. It's all getting blurred by the money. So I think for better or worse, we know NIL is here to stay. I don't know if it's too late to put the guardrails in place to try to keep it on the tracks. But if not, we're just slipping more and more into a pay-for-play version of NFL Lite. And I think that's kind of sad.
The thing that's really interesting about this conversation is when we have had this conversation with any of the former players, they are very much supportive of NIL.
Well, yeah, because they never got the chance to get their bag, and they earned it. They did. They earned that money. I mean, and I agree that scholarships are great, Eric. I love the old system with the stipend and the scholarships. But the money that college football specifically and college athletics in general brings in, I do believe the kids deserve a piece of the pie. But they've got to get a rein on it, man.
Yeah. Cliff Fife here from Facebook says, it hurts the smaller colleges won't be able to compete for a national championship ever. Probably only 20 teams will be in it. And I'll say this, I think college basketball is even worse. If you follow college basketball, the way the transfer portal and NIL is working in college basketball, it seems that it is the haves and the have-nots even more so than it is in football. It feels like, at least it does to me. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. So the question is here then, how do we go about fixing NIL, or is there any way possible to fix NIL? We're going to get to the transfer portal next. So I know that some of you have some strong feelings about the transfer portal, but if you were asked to be the commissioner of college football, Skeeter, and someone came to you and they said, we need you to fix NIL. If we need you to fix NIL, Skeeter, how would you go about fixing NIL if you were the commissioner of college football?
I don't know, because I think it's across the board. Really, if you look at one sport that NIL is hurting more than football, I would say college basketball. I think I saw a stat the other day where there are 8 teams that have $10 million rosters for next year or something like that. Like
Holy cow.
it's just ridiculous, so you kind of know who your Elite 8 are going to be before the season even starts, or who they should be.
Right. And
So
the rosters are much smaller in
yes, yeah,
basketball. So
and so if I had a fix, I would say if the NCAA could implement a cap, but make it even for across the board. Like if you're a football player, this is the most you can make, and it's coming through the school. Like the NIL, it's lost its purpose. Like it was implemented for businesses and stuff to help raise money, but the kid had to do something and pay it back. Like endorsements and whatnot. You're not getting that, or not that I'm seeing. You're not getting that. Maybe a handful of players you see on commercials, but for the most part, nobody really pushes a product or anything that you see. So uh, now it's just as pay for play, as Chris said. So, uh, man, I don't know how you can fix it without scrapping it and starting all over. Honestly,
yeah. Cory, what's your thoughts, brother, on this, man? How would you go about fixing it, man?
Well, first of all, you can't fix it unless the NCAA or some third party will actually enforce the rules. That's the whole problem. I'd rather the Wild Wild West versus remain unless we're gonna put rules in place and nobody's gonna enforce them, because we had that when we didn't have NIL and the SEC was paying everybody, and teams like Ohio State would their compliance department would sell you out if you bought them a Gatorade. So it made it an unfair advantage for the SEC, who nobody reined in. Now you have open NIL, all of a sudden Big Ten teams can compete, and so I'd rather have that than a system put in place to rein it in, and then nobody checks who's not following the rules. But I do have some solutions if, in fact, in a fantasy land, the NCAA had some teeth and actually made people follow the rules. One, I'd say a certified NIL agent or rep list. You have to go through a vetting system, background checks, code of conduct, things like that. I think that would help out the players and the schools know who they're dealing with. Conference level NIL guidelines. That's where it gets shaky about the rules, because Big Ten all of a sudden gets all moral superiority and goes crazy on the rules, and the SEC is like, I don't care what you do. So that's a dangerous one. But in a fantasy land where the NCAA puts rules in place and actually enforces them, that'd be a good one. Another one, NIL deal disclosure for school compliance. That's not enforced right now. I'd say it helps with red flags. It gives schools visibility. You don't have to give the dollar amount necessarily because of privacy issues. Maybe uniform NIL contract templates, things like that for players that they can actually get in and understand, just like a financial aid form or in-school housing forms or things like that. Academic eligibility requirement for NIL. It's not officially tied. It kind of is right now, but you're required to maintain eligibility, not be academically suspended, things like that. Ban pay for play language in NIL contracts. It's technically illegal, but there's zero enforcement right now. And then, of course, my last one would be single NIL and orientation. This one's easy to do. Make schools basically have kids understand taxes, contracts, scams, NCAA rules, and things like that before they even sign the contracts. I think those things you can do to help the NIL system, but nobody's going to enforce the rules, so what does it matter?
So a lot of people in the chat are mentioning salary cap. Here's the issue with a salary cap. They have to be employees. If you're going to put a salary cap on rosters, they need to be employees. And then so there's going to be negotiations that take place, which means the players are going to need a union, right? The reason why colleges do not want these players to become employees of the university is they're going to have to offer them benefits, health benefits. And now all of a sudden, if you get a bunch of players who get injured, guess who has to pay for that? The university will. And so you're getting down an avenue of legality that a lot of these universities just don't want to go down, because then all of a sudden their profit margins are going to take a massive, massive dip. Chris, what's your thoughts on this? Final thoughts on NIL? How would you go about fixing it?
Eric, all three of you have made excellent points. But I want to explore what you said there a little bit as far as making them employees of the university. I do think they need to be contracted directly through the university, but contracted as independent contractors. And I believe that you need to, obviously what Cory talked about, you have to have oversight. I do believe that a cap of sorts is necessary, or at least a pay scale based upon position, talent, that type of, some type of a pay scale. I do think a cap of sorts is necessary, and I think it's doable if you hire the kids as independent contractors and say, listen, we're going to hire you as a university employee, as an independent contractor. However, you are responsible for your own health care.
Hold on. There's an issue with subcontracting, and not all states' contracting laws are correct. You ever heard of the Uber laws?
I have.
So I think West Virginia is a state right now. You can't subcontract in the state of West Virginia because of the Uber laws.
Well, and so clearly that's something that would have to be
correct,
ironed out legislatively throughout the country.
It's just kind of like when NIL became a thing, certain states that hadn't jumped on it and other ones were slow to respond.
Yeah, I believe one of those that jumped on it right away was Missouri, was it not, Skeeter, that really implemented The NIL, they were at the forefront of really pushing when that happened, were they not?
Yeah, Coach Drinkwitz and the administration, they went to the state level and made it
Yeah.
possible to where if an in-state player signs a letter of intent with an in-state school, then they can start receiving NIL while they're still in high school.
And I think that is a big part of the issue. Is, and you looked at this with Quinn Ewers, the reason he came to Ohio State for a year. Until legislatively this is uniform throughout the country, this is going to be an issue. This is going to be an issue. And I hate more than anybody the idea of saying bring more government into it. That is one thing I am not in favor to, is bringing the government into anything.
I'll keep quiet on it.
But it's something where we need to have everybody on the same page. And unless you're going to get everybody on the same page, and we have a commissioner or committee that can oversee this process and actually hold people accountable, nothing's going to get done. And if nothing's going to get done and we're not going to have the proper oversight, I'm with Cory. Let's go wild, wild west style, because you know what? We know that our Buckeyes are going to be able to take care of business.
I'll volunteer to do that hard job of commissioner of college football. I'll take the bull by the horns.
Can I be vice commissioner?
I was going to say, I think we got a nice committee right here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so. Yeah,
we'll be a roundtable.
3 Buckeyes and a MIZ ZOU Tiger whose Wi-Fi keeps going out on him. Looks like. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic of discussion here, fellas, and that would be the transfer portal. Now, these two things just kind of go hand in hand. And obviously the transfer portal isn't going anywhere. That's so we might as well just understand that we're not going to be able to do that. So the question is here: how would you change it or make it better? And I was informed before we started, Cory's got some ideas. So Cory, I'm going to kick it to you, man.
Oh, no.
Fix the transfer portal.
Fix the transfer portal. Leave it up to me. Yeah, that's a good commissioner. Delegate.
That's right.
Anyway, I don't like the 2 transfer window thing. I do understand there needs to be a grace period at the end of the season for certain schools, but you got schools going into like now in the 12-team playoff all the way into January. I just don't think they should be able to handle the signing day into late December plus transfer portal plus preparing for the playoffs. I think it just gets a little ridiculous. One transfer window from April 15th to May 15th after spring. Or whenever your spring game is till May 15th. Then the schools will have to just act accordingly to how they schedule their games. That way they know where they stand after spring. That eliminates impulsive moves in December. It reduces tampering during bowl season, things like that. I mean, I think it makes it just extremely hard on coaches going late into the season. And I have to applaud Ryan Day. I cannot believe the culture he has built to where he's not. I'm sure he's having to deal with it, but he's dealing with it like a champ. Number 2. Yes, this rule technically exists already, but it's the waivers are soft and inconsistent. Get the sit-out rule for second transfers. There needs to be a sit-out rule that's stricter. No more my roommate looked at me weird, and I'm transferring. It just encourages more commitments, stops portal hopping, every time the playing time drops a little bit. Just make it stricter for second transfers. Cap on transfer class. People talk about salary cap. Cap on transfer class size, like 10 incoming transfers or something like that. Whatever it is. Some schools are doing 20 and 22 and whatever. It's ridiculous. You're completely altering your roster every year through the transfer portal, and it actually encourages players from smaller schools to just jump ship. So or backups on bigger schools to jump ship. Stop with the roster flipping. Intra-conference transfer penalties. It was removed in 2021, as far as I recall correctly. Sit out a year for intra-conference transfers, unless both schools just waive it. But the only problem with that is schools don't want to look bad publicly, so they just go ahead and waive it anyway. NCAA tampering enforcement arm. Again, this all goes back to somebody has to enforce the rules. I don't know if the NCAA has the teeth to do it or a new commission has to do it, whatever has to do. Almost like Rothstein in 1919 baseball, they got to get a commissioner, to do something here. Dedicated NCAA compliance for the portal and tampering cases, things like that. freeze the eligibility clock while you're in the portal. It's still, I mean, right now it still counts against eligibility. Pause the 5-year clock while uncommitted up to 30 days max. The NIL deal transparency, it goes back into NILs, but light disclosure, things like that. There's right now there's no transparency or tracking. I think it would actually affect the portal if we were more transparent on what NIL deals were taking place right now. And like the Nico situation, we still don't know for sure what had happened. I don't even know if each program knows for sure what had happened. Transfer orientation program, 2-day workshop before portal entry, so you understand academics, mental health, the NIL deals, depth chart realities, things like that. Because these 18 to 22-year-old kids making extremely important decisions on the fly, sometimes based on emotion. Exit interviews, it's spotty enforcement right now. Make it mandatory. Document before compliance and file the portal paperwork before the compliance can file the portal paperwork. Also, my last one is, let's say, collective accountability measures. There's no regulatory body, as I say. They don't penalize schools, NFL collectives caught tampering. They don't, no loss of lots of scholarships, no NIL spending limits. We're not even subtle about it anymore. So because we've made it so legal, it's just like I said. If it's not going to be the wild wild, if we don't want the wild wild west, we have to have a third body enforcing the rules.
I swear he got into my notes, Eric.
That was a lot to take in there. So here's what I need you to do, Cory. You need to do a video on just your
All right.
break that down. Holy smokes, that's a lot. Listen, I think there was a lot in there that I really, really liked. And I think the chat, we're getting a consensus that your first one is very popular. One transfer portal window after spring ball's over. And that's it. I think that's a good one. Skeeter, what's your thoughts on this, man? How would you go about fixing the portal? Oh, did we just lose him? We just lost him. All right, we'll go to you next, Chris.
All right.
What's your ideas?
What's my idea is to keep Cory out of my notes, because let me tell you, number one I had was set clear transfer windows. Now I'm okay with 2, but here's the problem: I don't like the timing of them. I think you have one immediately after the championship game, have it open up for 15 days, and then you do a 15-day post everybody's spring game. That cuts down on the chaos, helps the coaches manage rosters, gives the... I have no idea what that noise is. But anyhow, you set the transfer window. 2 was standardized eligibility rules, which was restriction of transfers. Number 3 rather, cap the portal class. I had it capped at 10. Require NIL transparency as my number 4, and number 5 was enforce tracking or enforce the tampering rules. So he and I were on the same page, man. Exactly the same page. Cory, you and I just need to take this thing over. We got this.
We got it. Everybody, hold on. Hold the phone, everybody. Chris and I got this.
To me, the portal is as simple as just making it shorter, and there's one window, and it's right after spring ball. To me, that now a lot of what you guys brought up, I think, is really good as well. But to me, that's the biggest one, and that's the easy one. That's the low hanging fruit here that they can fix like right now. Skeeter, what would you do to change the transfer portal, buddy?
You're not allowed to transfer. Like, you have to be at a university for 2 years. I would say, you have to give that school a genuine shot. You can't just go 1 year, not see the playing field, and you jump ship. And that, if you're not allowed to transfer, but once every 2 years, well, that's probably going to be most everybody's collegiate career. You might get a graduate senior or redshirt senior be able to transfer twice, but uh, the cap on transfers, I don't know if that will work. It it's all so hard and complicated because it has become just complete chaos, and that's what we're used to now. So it's hard to try to pull it all back in and say this is the right answer, because we've gone so far from what the norm is. And so I don't really know, like, if a cap would work. The one window in the spring is definitely needs to be happening. The window in December is stupid. You have teams preparing for bowl games. You have playoffs getting prepared for. You have high school recruiting wrapping up, and they're trying to sign their team, and now they got to say, "Oh, I can't sign you because so and so is coming back now." Or, so the December window needs to do away with. But I mean, other than that, I would say you have to be out of school for at least 2 years before you could transfer. That would stop this every year. We have kids, they're on their fifth and sixth school now, and that's just mind-boggling to think about.
I agree 100% for you. I think what has happened is you're actually doing a disservice to these kids by allowing them to jump in the portal every time you turn around. The one exception I could give to that is if they go to that school and their coach leaves.
Yeah.
And and,
Yeah, I was
and
going to say
that's
the same thing, Eric. There has to be a grace period
Yeah.
for coaching changes. Yeah.
and it's one of the biggest issues I think people have with this is it's like, well, a coach can leave whenever he wants and he can go get more money whenever he wants. That was the whole excuse for Nico, right? Like, what's he doing different than any other coach is doing? And so I understand that argument, but at the same time, you're comparing apples to oranges. You're comparing coaches. There's only 130 some of them as far as head coaching jobs in college football, and then you have how many Division One players are there? There's, I mean, a lot. Okay, there's a lot more than that. We're talking over, what is it? Over 10,000, or I believe it is.
Well, what,
So
105 guys over
over
130
131
programs?
teams. So yeah, you do the math. It's like
That
over a,
that's why I don't know that the cap would work, because that wouldn't be fair to a new incoming coach. He takes over a program and 30 players left the portal after the last coach left or got fired, however that works. So you're really hang handcuffing the incoming coach if you throw a transfer portal cap up.
That's a fair point. What if you had a waiver for incoming coaches whose teams just left? Like Marshall would be a great example for the new coach, right? Because the whole
well,
team friggin'
look
left.
at what
Well, West
Indiana did.
Virginia didn't West Virginia just have a bunch leave the other day too?
Possibly.
I don't know, but look at what Indiana did last year with Coach Sig. I mean, he went pretty much brought like 10 or 11 guys from his roster from James Madison, and then
Group of
he
five
brought
also.
in a group of 5 all-stars and ended up, keeping, basically he just cut half of the Indiana roster that he didn't like, essentially. Um it's interesting. Did you all see what Dion did after the conclusion of their spring game on
Nope.
his interview with ESPN? Literally, this is what Deion Sanders said. If you're in the portal, you know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
What? What in the world? Like, how did? Like, wait a second. What if you're currently on Colorado's roster? And I mean, to me, it's that is somebody who's living on the portal, man, completely living on it, as opposed to using it the way that a lot of the best programs are doing it and supplementing their roster with a few players here and there to try to fill
Well, we
holes
could
or
say
needs.
Colorado has a different circumstance than say an Ohio State or Georgia or whatever. That they have to try to get these players through the portal more so than how they. I mean, can they really recruit out of high school extremely well? I mean, even when Coach Prime is there, is Colorado the name when you got all these big major colleges coming at you? I mean, they're getting these guys who are probably a little lower tier in the recruiting class. They probably have an opportunity to go get some really high star backups to say, hey, you come to Colorado, you can play. So I could see why, but again, I'd still like to cap it because I mean, to a point. I mean, I do agree with Skeeter. I think he made an excellent point. I just say make a waiver for new coaches that need to rebuild the roster real quick. But the I don't know. I mean, I just don't think even with I don't they're certainly not getting crazy money for NIL to get to get new recruits and things like that. I think they have to use the portal a little too much.
I would push back on it with this too. If you have less guys available to be picked up out of the portal, you're going to have less guys enter the portal. Because the
True,
fact is, there's going to be no place for them to land.
true. Two things. Number one, this is a little bit off topic, but I want to mention it anyways. I think the early signing period is, I don't like it. They either need to move it up to like the beginning of like the end of July or something
Yeah,
like that, as opposed to, what is it, January, like December.
December.
Like, it makes no sense when it is right there.
I'd say go back to the February line.
I personally, I'm with you.
I like that. Yeah.
Cory, I want to go back to like NCAA 1998, baby. That's that's where I'm.
Where signing day in February was like you ain't getting nothing done at work that day.
These kids have no idea how exciting that day was.
Oh, jeez, it was ridiculous. It was so much fun.
It was the NFL draft and Survivor all mixed into one. Okay, yeah. I mean, it was crazy.
Where's Von Bell gonna go? Yeah,
I do have a question on that. So when the signing day was in February, I'm old enough to remember, but I don't remember all the fine details. Could kids still enroll early in that spring semester out of high school?
No,
they could. I think there was a few that started to.
Was there?
Yeah, in January. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's a big thing for Eli Drinkwitz at Mizzou. I think we have 10 freshmen on campus already.
Yeah,
in next year's class.
Ohio State's got over half the class on already.
Cory, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it they could come onto campus early? However, they could not participate in team activities early.
Yeah, they weren't participating in team activities, I don't think. But they I mean, like Jeff Okuda, I remember everybody was searching his name as well before February, and they were searching his name on campus already in January. I remember that very vividly. People were constantly searching the database at Ohio State because we didn't know for sure if he was sticking with Ohio State or not at the time.
I do have one more fix, Eric.
Sure, go for it.
Real quick.
Yeah.
You said something about the Indiana coach, or
Coach Sid, yeah.
One of y'all said something about the Indiana coach and kicking out half the team, and then Dion saying, "You know where to find me." So what about the players on the roster? Unless it's something off the field issues, a coach cannot force a player into the portal. You went and recruited them. You signed them. You brought them there. So
it happens everywhere.
I know, but if you're looking at if you're looking at a way to fix, I think that would be a big thing.
Well, the guidelines would have to be pretty strict on that. I do agree with the premise of it because it's like.
But if it's a contract, then that player's got a contract.
Correct.
And then, so that would help fix that a little bit too. Let me get to my last thing on the transfer portal before we take our commercial break and we come back and we do our mock draft game. I had a nephew who he's very, very good at football. Just had a spring game yesterday, doing very well at the University of Indianapolis, which is a Division II school. He was being recruited by Akron, and flat out, coach said to him that one of the reasons why they were not going to offer him at the time was because they needed to wait to see how many players went into the portal who were going to slip through the cracks to them. That's one of the unfortunate outcomes of what is going on now that no one's talking about. Is a lot of these players who are fringe, a group of 5 players, are now going Division II. And by the way, Division II football, if anybody's been paying attention, is getting really good because of this. It is getting really, really good. Same with Division I AA or whatever we're calling it now. Whatever it is now. I'm still
FCS.
Yeah, FCS. It's good football now. You got something, Skeeter?
No, I was going to say FCS, but Chris beat me to it.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, you're going to want to hang around because we're gonna break it down for you, and we're going to give it into our predictions. So hang tight, everybody.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. The OHIO podcast is thrilled to partner with Export Mouthguards, the innovators redefining protection in contact sports. Introducing the Ninja Pro Mouthguard, the strongest and most advanced mouthguard on the market. Engineered by dental experts, it's designed to deliver elite protection with a sleek, low-profile fit. Made with carbon fiber and multi-layer construction, it's impact tested to keep you safe from even the hardest hits. But that's not all. The Ninja Pro is 3D printed for 100% custom fit, offering unbeatable comfort and security for any athlete. From football to MMA, dominate your game with confidence while safeguarding your teeth and jaw. Getting started is easy. Use our home impression kit to create your custom fit and enjoy prepaid shipping. It's protection delivered right to your door. Plus, with a 1-year warranty and 100% satisfaction guarantee, and proudly made in the USA, the Ninja Pro is your ultimate defense on the field or in the ring. And here's the best part. When you visit exportguards.com, use promo code OHIO at checkout to get 20% off your purchase. That's right, 20% off elite protection made just for you. Protect your game, protect your future. Choose Export Ninja Pro mouthguards, where innovation meets protection. Head to exportguards.com and use promo code OHIO today.
The OHIO podcast is brought to you by Mastermind. Mastermind specializes in 360-degree high-definition mobile video mapping, GIS integration, and traffic safety studies. Mastermind cares about traffic safety and keeping you safe on the roadway. Visit Mastermind at onlinemastermind.com. And again, we're thankful for today's sponsor for today's episode. It's brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. If your loved one is recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, or living with dementia and needing support at home, A Place at Home Dublin provides home care supportive services like bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, and medication reminders, all in the comfort of home. Learn more at aplaceathome.com/Dublin or call 740-472-8181. All right, guys, let's break this down for all of you so you know exactly how to do this. And here's what you all are playing for. We have a mini helmet signed by 3 former Buckeyes. They are, we've got Mike Wargo. Actually, it's this one. This is the one you're playing for. Mike Wargo, James Cotton, and Alan DeGraffenreid have all signed this mini helmet. And so whichever one of you can predict most correctly and accurately these Buckeyes and where they end up in the NFL draft, I will mail this to you. This is pretty nice. So, and how you're going to submit your submissions is going to be to email us. Email the show at theohiopodcast@gmail.com. Put your name on it. There's that dinner hiccups I was telling you about, Cory. They just showed up. Put your name on it, and then here's what you need to provide: the player name. There's 17 players that we're going to be going over. The player name, the round he gets picked in, the number that he gets drafted at, and the team he gets drafted for. If for every single one of those you get right, you get 5 points. If you get all 3 right, you get an additional 5-point bonus for 20 points for that player. So if you get the team right, but not the round or the number, you get 5 points. If you get the team and the round right, but not the number, you get 10 points. If you get all 3, you will get 20 points for that, okay? So that's how the point system is working. And again, easy enough to submit. You literally just email me your predictions, player name, the round, the number, and the team, and then I will put those into a nice little spreadsheet, and we will keep track of all of that for all of you. Are we clear? Okay. That being said, so chat, if you want to put your predictions in the chat, go for it. I won't put them up on the screen because I want you to email them to me, all right? But you can listen to us and see us make our picks. And by the way, just so you all are aware, this is just our guesstimations right now. We can resubmit ours by no later than Thursday afternoon, guys. So we're just doing this super early right now. Usually we wait and do this, but we want to get a good reaction from everybody. That's why we're doing this on Sunday night. So $2 super chat from Bobby Mack. If you get all 3 correct, you take over for Kuiper. You get a 5th extra point. You get 5 bonus points, but I don't know about Kuiper. That guy's got some crazy hair.
Well, I think any of us can take over for Kuiper.
Really? I like Kuiper. I like Kuiper.
He annoys me, and he's only accurate about half.
Why? He's only shows up once a year.
I like his hair.
I like his hair too. It's kind of his thing. I don't know.
That helmet, yeah.
His voice ranks right up there with Fran Drescher on voices I just don't want to.
Yeah, his voice is pretty bad. Yeah, I do agree.
It's got that East Coast thing going on, doesn't he? Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to jump right into this. You know what, Cory? I'm going to let you go pick. You can pick the player you want to do first, man. You can pick any player you want.
Josh Simmons.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Round 1, pick 20 to the Bears.
Okay, round 1, pick 20 to the Bears. Skeeter, you're up next, and you have to take Josh Simmons, by the way, since he picked him. So give me your Josh Simmons prediction.
Give me number 17, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Round 1, 17 to the Bengals. They need offensive line help. That is not a joke. Chris.
I've got him going round 1, number 25 to the Houston Texans.
Okay. Here's where I either look like a genius or I am completely wrong.
You got him
You all
going 10
have
to the Bears.
I got him going second round.
Oh,
Pick 33 to the Browns.
I'm not going to complain if that happens.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, Skeeter, you're up next to pick any player you want to start here.
Let's go. Donovan Jackson.
All right.
And I'm going to say, man, as much as I want him to fall to the Saints in round 2, I don't know that he's going to, because he's the top true guard in the draft, I believe, on most mock drafts. So I actually have him going 25 to Houston Texans.
Okay. Round 1, pick 25 to the Texans. Chris, Donovan Jackson.
I have him near where Skeeter's got him. I've got him at the end of round 1 going 28 to the Detroit Lions.
I am also with you guys on here. I have him going round 1, pick 31 to the Chiefs. Cory.
I got him going round 2, pick 38 to the Patriots.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, can I amend something real quick, Eric?
Sure.
I meant the Broncos, not the Bears. Sorry.
I thought maybe you had a trade in there I didn't know about.
Hey,
I'm looking at the draft order, and I'm like, what?
I was, I don't know. My head is clearly, I got steak brain. So
I do have a couple trades in here where I picked different numbers of teams, and I'm like, because that's going to happen. Like,
yeah,
especially in this draft, there's going to be a ton of trading going on. All right, Chris, you get to pick who you want next. Any player. That's
you know what? Let's go ahead and bust him out. Let's bust out QB1. Let's bust out Will Howard.
Okay, this ought to be interesting.
And, he had a great pro day, but I still think that he doesn't get the respect he deserves. I've got him going round 4, number 108, to join back up with Chip Kelly in Las Vegas.
Ooh, Raiders. He does not appear to be a Raider to me, though. I've got Will Howard round 5, pick 145 to the Jets.
Cory. You'll be hating.
I'm not hating, man. You're the one who loves him. Actually, no, that's a quarterback from 2023.
Nice. I got Will Howard going round 3, pick 42 to the New York Jets.
Wow. Whoa, wait a minute. We got the same team. We just got them in different rounds completely. Pick round 3.
So just to clarify, you guys are saying Justin Fields is a flop.
I think they're going to draft somebody behind Fields for sure.
Wait a minute, Cory. You said round 3?
Yeah.
What pick number?
42.
Can't be 42.
Can't be.
That'd be second round.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry. I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. Clearly. Yeah, that would be round 2. Never mind. He's not going second round.
I'll give you a second to
73. Sorry. 73.
That sounds more like it. God. All right, Skeeter, Will Howard.
My Saints can't pass on quarterbacks for too many picks. And Will Howard, I think he would go pretty good in Moore's offense. Round 3, pick 93, New Orleans Saints.
Man. Apparently I'm hating on him. Man. All right, I'm not going to hate on this next guy. It's my turn. We're going to go with Mecca Egbuka. Here we go. This might, and I have not seen this on any mock. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm hoping this sticks. Round 1, pick 12 to the Cowboys.
I have seen that, Eric.
Have you? Oh, okay.
I have.
Cory.
Round 1, pick 29, the Commanders.
couple Buckeyes would be there then. That'd be interesting. Skeeter, Emeka Egbuka.
Round 1, pick 18, Seattle Seahawks.
Another team with a couple Buckeyes.
Another,
You know what?
yeah.
I'm actually with Skeeter because I think that the move, I originally had him going to Pittsburgh, but with them trading Metcalf over to Pittsburgh, I think it opens up a spot to bring Egbuka back home to the Northwest. I've got him going 18 to the Seahawks as well.
And they're going to want as much
Interesting.
talent around Sam Darnold as possible.
JSN on one side, Egbuka on the other.
Nice.
But I think people are going to draft him to be more of a primarily slot guy.
Slot guy, yeah.
All right, Cory, I think you are up next to pick whoever you want.
Tyreek Williams.
Okay, let's do it.
I got him round 1, pick 30 to the Buffalo Bills.
Woo! He slips into the first round. Nice. Skeeter, Tyreek Williams.
Round 2, pick 36 to Jacksonville.
The Jaguars. Who I think, didn't they have Ty Hamilton's brother?
Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, Donovan has been playing well, too.
Yeah, that would be 2 Buckeyes in the interior of that defensive line. Chris, Tyreek Williams.
I think Tyreek's going to enjoy playing beside Ed Oliver in Buffalo. I also have him at round 1, number 30 to the Bills.
Nice.
Okay. Man, you guys have a lot of Buckeyes going in the first round.
I have 3.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Tyreek for me, I've got him round 2, pick 43 to the 49ers. So I think we're up to Skeeter can go. Anyone you want?
I'm going to go Jack Sawyer.
Ah, Captain Jack, where you got him?
Round 3, pick 66 to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'd hate to see that because I hate the Chiefs. Chris, Jack Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer wanted to stay in Ohio. He wanted to go to Cleveland or Cincinnati.
Yes, come on.
Unfortunately, the drive is going to be, I think, just a little bit farther. I think round 2, pick 60, Dan Campbell takes him to put him opposite of one Aiden Hutchinson.
Gag me.
That Detroit Lions defensive line.
No.
Sorry, I think it's there. I think he fits Dan Campbell's defense. Like, he's a great fit for it.
Round 2, pick 49 to the Bengals. They need him. He wants to be a Bengal, by the way, too. So
I got him round 2, pick 64 to the Eagles.
Round 2, pick 64 to the Eagles. All right, Chris, back to you, man.
Well, we started on one end. Why don't we go to the other? Let's pick Jim Tumaluau. And I'll tell you, I've got him in the second round as well. I think those intangibles are too much, or those measurables are too much to pass up on. I got him going second round, number 54, and he's going to the Green Bay Packers.
I love that.
Wait a second. So you got JT going ahead of Jack?
I do.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Listen to this. I got JT falling to the third round, pick 81 to the Bengals. That's right. Bengals going Sawyer, JT.
Somebody's wearing their Homer hat.
That would be amazing. That'd be awesome. All right, go for it, Cory.
JT. Pick 45 in the second round of the Colts.
Why does it feel like that's what's probably going to be happening? It's like no fanfare to
honestly,
it at all. It's like makes no sense.
And honestly, Eric, that's kind of how I pick him sometimes. Like it just this weird, like what they were looking at him type of pick.
Skeeter, where's JT Tuimoloau going?
I think I have him the highest out of y'all. Round 2, pick 38, New England Patriots.
Like that makes sense. Actually, good.
I can see that. Yep. All right, let's go with Travion Henderson. I've got the Cowboys taking Egbuka in round 1. I got Dallas, round 2, pick 44, taking Travion Henderson. A couple back-to-back Buckeyes. Hey, it went pretty well last time they took a running back from Ohio State. So I think Dallas is going to have a little bit of Ohio State flair in the beginning of this draft. Cory, where is Travion Henderson going to land?
Chip Kelly's bringing him home. Round 2, pick 37, Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders. Oh man, he doesn't look like a Raider either.
He doesn't act like a
Skeeter.
Raider.
Yeah, I know he don't, does he? He goes. He's like,
This
I'm going
is
to
not.
minister this field, guys. We're going to be.
This is probably going to get me booted off your podcast. But round 2, pick 55 to Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers.
You
No.
know, I've heard that, Skeeter. I've heard it.
But they tried so many backs last year, and they dealt with so many injuries. He would just be a plug and play right there.
That's it. Block him.
Yep, it's happening.
At Mizzou Pod on Twitter.
So I agree. I think Travion Henderson's going to have himself a running buddy. I'm with Cory. I got him going second round, number 37, joining back up with Chip Kelly and Will Howard in Vegas.
All right, Cory, back to you. Pick anybody you want.
Let's go with the other running back, Quinshawn.
Okay.
Round 3, pick 67, the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh. They need a running back. Skeeter, Quinshawn.
I actually have been seeing where people had him ahead. And so I'm going to do that in mine. Round 2, 48 to Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins. I got them a couple times coming up here soon. Chris.
I'm going to blow you out of your mind right now. Quinshawn had himself a great combine. Aaron Jones in Minnesota, free agent. They got a fresh quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. I think they're going to take a physical downhill runner in the first round with the 24th pick. Quinshawn goes to Minnesota.
Wow. Okay. The Vikings. If I could spell. Quinshawn, round 2, pick 54 to Cory's Packers.
I ain't complaining.
I think we're up to Skeeter now, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I believe
All right,
so.
Skeeter.
I'm going to go. You had him in the show notes as DB, but he's safety, right?
Who's that?
Lathan Ransom.
Nathan?
Yeah, he's safety.
Okay. I remember him standing out at the Cotton Bowl to me. Like, the kid is fast. He hits hard. Like, really, really good safety. I'm going to put him round 3, pick 72, the Bears.
The Burrs.
I don't want to
Lathan
fight
Ransom,
against
Chris.
I think he slides a little bit lower than that. I think he goes the third round, number 98, to the Miami Dolphins.
I have Lathan Ransom going in the third round. Pick number 98 to the Miami Dolphins, you son of a gun. Cory.
Third round, pick one. I do have him in the third round, 102 to Detroit Lions.
Lions. All right. Chris, you're back up.
Oh, you know what? Let's go with Cody.
Cody Simon.
Cody Simon. Another guy that I think, like Egbuka, is going to end up almost at home. I think he's going to end up playing an hour and a half away from his hometown down in Jersey City. I got him fourth round, 134 to the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles. All right, Cody Simon. I got him going one round later. Fifth round, 151 to, again, the Colts. Why? I don't know. Just feels like a
just good one of those things.
Yeah. Just all right, Cory. Cody Simon.
Fifth round, 144, New England Patriots.
Skeeter.
I have him sixth round, pick 183, Baltimore Ravens, and he turns into a perennial All-Pro right there.
Of course he would, right? Yeah.
With
Goes to the Ravens and has that kind of career. Where we at?
You.
I think me. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's go G. Scott Jr. here. Okay. I'm going to go undrafted, but I have him getting picked up by the Raiders. Cory.
1 second. Looking at my notes here. Actually, I got him going in the 7th round.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs, 251.
251, the Chiefs. The Chefs. All right. Skeeter, G. Scott Jr.
I'm kind of on the same trail as you there, Eric. Undrafted. I think Vikings would be a good team for him.
Sure, we can put him there. Chris.
I'll tell you what. I actually also have him undrafted. And you know who loves undrafted free agents from Ohio State, Eric? Mike Vrabel. I got him going to the Patriots.
Beautiful. All right. Yes. Oh, I'm just gonna scroll through here and find the comments that I like. Boggs is correct. That sounds good. Steely
doubt it.
Mac calling me Bengal Boggs.
That sounds more like it.
Dallas likes their Buckeyes. Yep. Let's see here. Try to catch up here. Steely Matt Lathan, my favorite Buckeye. Boy, he was a good one, wasn't he? Dennis, so G to the Seahawks. Here's why I chose the Raiders. G. Scott Sr. worked for the Seattle Seahawks. But my thing is that coach is now with the Raiders. So I kind of feel that that's kind of why I ended up with the Raiders there. But I get you. Bobby says I like that, Cory. I'm not sure what you said that he liked, but he
Likes
liked
everything
it.
I say. Yeah,
that could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Bobby's saying you have 3 going to the Pats right now.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to look over my notes again, but yeah.
Okay.
I think with Vrabel connection there, I think he's going to be looking at Buckeyes.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. I think we're up to you, Cory. You get to pick again. Got a couple guys left.
Go with Josh Fryer, undrafted,
Right,
signed by the Rams. That's what I think is going to happen with him.
Okay. Skeeter.
Let me throw a Raider in there for y'all. Round 7, pick 220. 222. Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. Chris.
I do like Josh Fryer to get drafted. I like him at 7th round, number 244 to the Detroit Lions as a backup for Penei.
I think that this is currently the record is 15. I think Josh Fryer becomes pick number 16 and breaks the record for the Buckeyes. He's going to do so by getting picked in the 7th round, pick number 250 to Cory's Packers. And I'll tell you why I put him on Cory's Packers team, because Cory told me he's a 2-year starting right tackle in the Big Ten who just won a national championship. Someone's going to take a flyer on him late. It's going to be your team, Cory.
Actually, the Green Bay's got a good track record of picking guys late in the round in the offensive line and developing pretty well.
Bobby says he's going to be the last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant. Hey, that's cool, man.
Worked out well for Brock Purdy.
They still call you a draft pick.
That's right. That's right. All right, where are we at now? I kind of lost track. I think Cory just went. Skeeter, we've got according
I'm going Denzel Burke.
Okay, let's do it.
Round 3, pick 71, New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
We've had some luck drafting DB out of Columbus, Ohio before.
That's right. Yes, you have. Chris, Denzel Burke, where does he end up?
He's another guy that I don't think gets the love he deserves. I think he drops to 109, 4th round to the Buffalo Bills.
Don't hate that either for him. I got him very close to where you got him, Chris. Round 4, pick 116 to the Panthers.
I got him exact same as Skeeter, actually. Saints.
Wow, 371 to the Saints. Okay.
That's both my Saints round 3 picks. Are Ohio State Buckeyes. We get Denzel Burke and then Will Howard later on.
Makes that Friday night the draft awful interesting for you there, Skeeter. Chris, I think we're up to you. We've got Seth McLaughlin.
He's the last offensive guy left.
Go for it.
So I've got Seth going 4th round, pick 125. And I hate to say it, but he's going to the LA Chargers.
Oh, man, you guys are killing me. Killing me, Smalls. Round 4, pick 115 to the Cardinals. That's where I got Seth McLaughlin going. And by the way, I think he's the steal of draft if he goes to the 4th round. I do.
I agree.
Cory.
Round 5, 159 to the Packers.
That'd be even a bigger.
We just let Josh Fryer walk, and they're taking Elton Jenkins, moving him to center. I think they're gonna draft a backup center for sure.
Skeeter, where you got Seth McLaughlin, the former Alabama
Round
center?
5, 147, San Francisco 49ers.
49ers. All right. Let's see. I think I'm next. Let's take Ty Hamilton. I got him round 4, 106. And since the rest of you all have been picking Patriots, I think I'll pick a Patriot. Round 4, 106 to the Patriots for Ty Hamilton. Cory.
Round 4, 110 to the New York Jets.
All right. Skeeter, where you got Ty Hamilton going?
Round 5, 154, New York Giants.
How dare you?
I guess I'm hating here a little bit because I got him slipping all the way to the 6th round.
Ooh.
I've got him at 211 going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. That might be the steal of the draft. He goes all the way to the 6th round. Which means the last pick for us is going to be Jordan Hancock, Cory.
Yep, I got him round 7, 222 to the Raiders.
Jordan Hancock, Skeeter.
Round 4, pick 111, Carolina Panthers.
Ooh, big difference there between you guys. Jordan Hancock, Chris.
I got him going round 5, pick 156 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Is that the first time anybody's chosen a Steeler from this draft for a Buckeye?
I think it is.
It
and
might be.
Steelers love Buckeyes.
They do.
So that's kind of weird.
Round 6, pick 192 to the Browns.
So Eric and I are haters.
Apparently.
I think just his measurables and playing for Ohio State are going to get him drafted higher.
What's interesting is even though he's the last one chosen, that is the largest disparity of any player in this draft for all of us.
I think he's hard to gauge, to be honest with you. There hasn't been a lot of buzz about him.
True. But he was so solid.
He's solid, but he wasn't spectacular, And honestly, he didn't have a great championship game.
Which is why he's perfect for a world class or a working class town like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, let's just catch up with the chat here. Brian says I can see Burks or Denzel Burke going to the Saints. Let's see. Ooh, that would be interesting. Round 5 to the Titans for Seth McLaughlin. Let's see. I think that's about it. Yep, Bobby Mack agrees. Steelers love Buckeyes. And DKR Will Howard will be a Steeler.
And I toyed with that for a long, long time. It came
Did you?
Steelers and the Raiders for me.
It wouldn't shock me those Steelers take a quarterback. Doesn't make any freaking sense. So.
Well, you got to think that they need a quarterback. I mean,
Mason Rudolph. What are you talking about?
Yeah. they got Father Time and Mr. Irrelevant. So.
Well, guys, that is it, man. So that's how we do this. So again, I want to encourage all of you to participate in this. Email us. The email is simple. I'll put it in the chat right now. It's theohiopodcast@gmail.com. And email us those 17 guys. Again, what round, what pick number, what team, and I'll put that in the spreadsheet, and we will keep track. I am going camping this weekend, so not sure if I'm going to be able to watch or not, but we'll try to keep you all updated the very best we can. So you don't think so, Chris?
Here's the thing. As a Browns fan, I'd love it. As a Will Howard fan, I absolutely hate it. I wouldn't put that on any quarterback in this draft.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. It's a graveyard for quarterbacks, man. Brandon, I'm with you. Brandon. I hope the Browns get no Buckeyes. Who dey? There you go. Oh, man. Can you imagine if Sawyer and JTT go back-to-back to a team? I think that would be – I think it's smart. Cincinnati needs serious defensive line help, and those guys are going to –
I don't see either of them slipping that far. And somebody's going to have to trade up to make the move.
I don't know.
I think it would be a smart move, Eric, but I don't see anybody letting either one of those guys slip to the 3rd round. somebody's gonna
Cincinnati
take
would have to
him.
trade Trey Hendrickson too, I think, before they drafted
I
two
don't think
defensive ends.
isn't he not on the like he's like
He's
like
still there. He's asked or
yeah,
been
they're
given
gonna
permission for a trade, but nobody's
he
wanting
ain't
to
gonna
pay the price that
right.
Cincinnati would
I don't
want
know.
for him.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I think that they need to plan for him to not be there. Yeah. So, anyways, again, guys, we would love for you all to participate. So please do that. Send me over an email. I'll put some stuff on social media as well for that. Skeeter, tell everybody it's dark where you're at now, Skeeter. So
I had to turn
tell
my phone flashlight on, you know?
tell everybody how they can get a hold of you on the Woods Water Mizzou podcast.
On X or Twitter or YouTube, Instagram, it's at Mizzou Pod, MIZZOUPOD. Also, co-host of mine, Case, and we both have a big passion for racing, and so if you see down there, uh, and the Tire Rub podcast, we have started a racing podcast and had a couple big time guests on already and getting that channel going. So if you like racing, we hope we can tickle your fancy with that. There, we're not so much going to be talking about results as we are the behind the scenes, the racing stories, the people in the industry, and getting their perspective of it. So, but yeah, Mizzou at Mizzou Pod for any of our Missouri podcast content.
And don't forget about the College Huddle. I just started a brand new YouTube channel for the College Huddle. So make sure you do that. It's just at College Huddle on YouTube. So youtube.com/ at College Huddle. And Michael joined me yesterday to talk about Nico and Tennessee. And I'm going to have Skeeter on there to talk a little bit about Missouri here coming up and everything going on in the SEC. So trying to put out at least one good episode a week for now, right now. So be on the lookout for that. If you all could go and subscribe to that channel, that would be great. I think we're up to 60 some subscribers already in just 24 hours. So thank you so much for everybody. Please continue to do that. If you haven't already, go subscribe to that channel. So that we can get that bad boy up to 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible, and we can get the content pumping out there. I saw at the beginning of the chat who replaces the Podfather. Ain't nobody replacing me. Come on, I'm irreplaceable. You should know that by now. So Cory, when are you going to take over, man?
Probably tomorrow.
Okay. Look at Chris. He's all, wait, what? What? I've been here longer. That's because, Chris, you're coming with me.
Man, leave me all alone. Jeez.
Oh, thank you, Mika. Mika says she's already subbed. Amen. Appreciate that. All right, guys. This has been today's show. I hope you all enjoyed it. We will be back again next Sunday night with another roundtable. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Chris got the call-in show, so don't miss that. Chris's call-in show tomorrow night. He's also got a top 10 that's going to be coming your way. That's pretty interesting. Can't wait to watch that one. And Cory, we're going to need you to break down that for everybody and get it its own video.
Well, I did get a hold of Dylan Kuhn.
Uh-oh.
We are recording Wednesday. So.
Oh, no. Cory and Dylan. I predict that show will be off the rails in less than 60 seconds.
Yeah, it won't take long.
It won't. No, it won't. Not. I'll make sure it goes maybe 30 seconds. If we could put some money on this, I will. I can be bought.
Dylan's choo-choo never stays on the tracks.
It does not.
Well, neither does Purdue, so it all makes sense.
Will it be live? Which one, Michael? Which one are you talking about? One with DK?
Call-in show will definitely be live. DK
tomorrow night's call-in show, yeah. So we go live 3 times a week. Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, all at 8 o'clock Eastern. Those are our live shows. So, yep. Everything else is pre-recorded. So that's kind of how we're breaking her down. All right, guys?
Hey, Eric, if I can get a minute to thank your listeners.
Sure,
for
go
those that don't know or don't remember, I'm the dummy that got ran over by a train last year and lost about a third of my foot. I'm about 11, 12 days away from the year anniversary of that. But without the guys like here at the OHIO podcast, your listeners, I know a lot of people supported me, sent a lot of prayers, a lot of words of encouragement, and that helped me so much. I'm beyond blessed to have the circle of friends that I have, and that's the great thing about sports is coming to connect over a game. Even though we don't like the same teams, we can connect in life in so many ways. So, yes, that's right, Michael. But just thank you, everybody that helped me along the way, and really meant a lot to me, and I can never repay you.
Michael, don't you worry about that, man. It's just having you in my life has been a blessing, man. Skeeter and I we talk. Skeeter will call me up sometimes just to chat. So having you as a part of my inner circle, man, has been a blessing. So I appreciate you very much, and thank you for sharing that with everybody. Brian Oberst, will you have a draft watch party? Yeah. So Thursday night call-in show is during the draft. So that's absolutely going down Thursday night. Yep.
Are you going to start early, Eric, so you can start with the draft at 7:00?
It starts at 7?
I believe the draft starts at 7, doesn't it?
I think it
Sure.
starts at 8, doesn't it? I
thought it started at 8.
Well, I'll check for you.
We'll start whenever the draft starts. How about that?
There you go.
Per Chris's request. All right.
Chris just wants more time with you, Eric.
Before I leave, before I exit stage left from the show. Anyways, thank you so much, Skeeter. Appreciate you, man. It's been a lot of fun, guys. So just for Skeeters tonight, MIZ,
ZOU and OH.
IO. Have a good night, everybody.